Introducing tonight's visiting team, Team Haudenosaunee. Number 4, Jalen Jimerson. Number 5, Avery Doran. Number 8, Kelly Babstock. Number 9, Lottie Gill. Number 14, Timmy Bomberry. Number 16, Bean Minard. Number 18, Lois Garlow. Number 21, Paisley Cook. Number 24, Fawn Porter. Number 33, Allison Trice. 34, Jordan Coulon. 43, Sierra Cockerville. 45, Talis Tarbell. 22, Paige Crandall. And 23, Olivia Hoffman. Team Haudenosaunee GM, Shanice Mohawk. Assistant GM, Marissa Harang. Head coach, Tim Bomberry. Assistant coach, Elizabeth Bovell. Head trainer, Fernando Pineda. And director of women's lacrosse, Claudia Jimerson. And now introducing Team Canada. Rank number 4, Hannah Morris. Rank number 7, Brooklyn Walker Welch. Rank number 11, Erica Evans. Number 12, Megan Kinna. Number 18, Skylar MacArthur. Number 19, Jordan Dean. Number 22, Shawnee Wallace. Number 27, Dana Doby. Number 37, Lauren Spence. 77, Alex Matsuoka. 97, Bella Gaspar. And 98, Gigi Gaspar. GM, Tammy Rayner. Head coach, Sean Williams. Assistant coaches, Jessica Marque, Katie Ranger, Ashley Bull. Team doctor, Lisa Liang. Head trainer, Claire Biafor. Referees for this evening's game, lead official, Brent Colombe. Referee number 1, Rob Gross. And referee number 2, Jessica Lawrence. At this time, I would like to give thanks to the Creator for giving this medicine to the Haudenosaunee people of the Longhouse and for sharing this medicine with the world. We give thanks to all First Nations, Métis and Inuit, as we all sit in their territories. Specifically today, we are in the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island. We say miigwech. We say thank you, Creator, for giving us Mother Earth. She then gave us the tree in which our lacrosse sticks are made from. This is the true roots of the medicine we call lacrosse today. Miigwech, Nawe, thank you. And now for tonight's national anthems. First for Team Haudenosaunee. it's my pleasure to introduce all the way from British Columbia for tonight's national anthem for Canada, David Wallace.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us commend. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And welcome everyone back here to World Sports Broadcasting Network Canada versus the Haudenosaunee here at Civic Field in Oshawa. I'm Spencer Byers alongside Lance Wynn. And Lance, we just saw Kenya and the United States play. Now we're going to have, and that's no offense to Kenya, a little more of a suspected, on paper, evenly matched game here between the Haudenosaunee and Canada to see who will get their first win of the weekend.
Well, I tell you, certainly something to look forward to when you saw the schedule come out in this event and you saw Canada against Haudenosaunee and on day one, boy, that got the blood going. So this here is going to be an outstanding test for both these two teams, as it'll give them an idea of where they stand. Again, going through this event, of course, you could be playing these teams a couple of times, so good to make the adjustments, but also good to get a feel and get that first game under your belt.
Also want to mention Cajun Ruthani Castle running the camera. Of course, we had to move halfway through the last game and some unexpected circumstances, but now we're ready for Canada versus the Haudenosaunee. You see them there at center field. And I do want to mention, I saw some people with clipboards walk by us there, Lance. I'm not sure if they're the American coaching staff or if they're part of the American program, but I'd have to expect, again, that the Americans are going to be watching this game with very wide eyes to make sure they don't miss anything from either of these two teams, because they will be playing both tomorrow.
Well, I think looking up to the right of us where we're situated, you can see that slowly but surely the team that just played starting to filter out. I'm sure they'll be sitting in the stands getting an idea of what they'll be up against in the next couple of days in either one of these two squads.
Exactly, and so same thing with Kenya. Like, obviously, they just played the Americans. They still got to play Canada and the Haudenosaunee. So, no, in all fairness to Kenya, the going doesn't get any easier.
No, and I would think for Kenya that they would be out watching every game that they're not involved in just for the sake of experience, just for being able to see this caliber of lacrosse played at this level.
Again, the face-offs are only the start of each quarter, so 4 face-offs total. After a goal is scored, the goalie plays it, and we start. Infraction right off the face-off again. That's the second time we've seen that to begin a game. Possession will go to Canada, who are obviously in the black, while the Haudenosaunee are in the purple. But now we are off. Again, these games get rather high scoring, so pardon if we say a lot of names very quickly. These rosters are rather small, only 12 players per team, including the goalies, so both rosters are rather compact by design.
They are, and got to remember too, Spencer, shot clock involved in this modified version.
30 seconds as Canada airmails that one over. And again, another advantage with the field playing surface being so short. Balls are littered around the field, so it's so quick to get that ball back in play and restart it. Because the clock doesn't stop. It keeps running. We're playing 4 to 8 minute quarters, but that clock don't stop anyway. So it's not really 8 minutes of play. It's more like 6, depending on how many times that ball goes out. As the Haudenosaunee now around the top, that ball gets loose, and the Canadians should retrieve it, and they do. Quickly up the field, they just couldn't retrieve it. That was a great chance for both sides there, as neither could seemingly get a real handle on it. Canada keeps it in, kind of passing it around like hockey there, as that ball is still loose. Canada still doesn't get a fresh shot clock, so they got to move it. They got about half the shot clock remaining. Into the middle, Canada, that shot caught. there by the goalie, Paige Crandall, pardon me.
Well, I think hats off, too, when you take a look at Brooklyn Walker-Welch for Canada. Did a great job there. Loose balls, the key, Spencer. You got to have possession in order to score.
And not only that, you got to have it quick here because of how fast the ball moves and how fast the possessions are. You have a lot of them, so you got to take advantage when you get close to the net.
Well, I would expect, too, early on, Canada to work it around, work that shot clock around, make the Haudenosaunee defense really work, and hope that dividends pays off later in the game.
That shot scores, and Canada get themselves on the board, but quickly they got to go back because here come the Haudenosaunee. Again, how quickly the sport can move.
It's one of the beauties. It gives Haudenosaunee a chance to answer right away. You don't have a whole lot of fluff in between that to catch your breath. You're right back at it.
It also tests the stamina of every athlete because you got to score and then run back on defense. As that ball goes by, picked out there by the only goalie listed, Lauren Spence. Play there to Jordan Dean, and Dean will now run it up the field.
Team Canada goal, score number 18, Skylar MacArthur.
And Skylar MacArthur, as you heard there from the PA announcer, got the first goal of the game for Canada. As Canada played around the top. We didn't really talk about it in the first game, but the goal of lacrosse, especially in field, is a lot like hockey. Where you want that home plate area shots, and I think you know what I mean when you watch a hockey broadcast and they have the little home plate from the net out. You really want to be inside that slot area, especially here in lacrosse, because how quickly the ball can move. You can get it in and get rid of that ball real quick. It's almost impossible for the goalie to make that quick read and get over.
Well, yeah, and you talk percentages, right? The best options you have as far as getting a shot, whether it be left or right, in the middle of the field. So that's your slot area. That is the key scoring area. And in lacrosse, when you talk about an overhand, you talk about being able to put that with the same motion at the top of the net or the bottom of the net. That's what makes it so tough. So tough on the goalies, but both these two teams looking for shots in that prime shooting area.
Fawn Porter there took a shot on Spence. She made the save.
I think in box, Spencer, you have the benefit of the dotted half circle that goes around, which gives you an idea of this prime scoring area here. You don't have that.
Yeah, these poor fields don't have all that lines. As Canada make the break in, and that shot, I'm not sure she stepped in before she took it anyway, but the ref did make a whistle. As now both teams are fighting for it there, close to the line, but it's going to be going the other way for a possession loss there to Canada. But it does at least give you a chance to set up, which is an advantage for Canada.
No, I think it's great transition lacrosse that you're going to see out here throughout this weekend.
Well, that shot took a deflection, and Spence did stay stout to it, but that one was nasty with the way it spun. And I can tell you from box and field lacrosse players, they can put a spin on that ball where it looks like a slider and it turns into a curve ball, and that ball moves all over the place. It does things to you, Lance. It does things to you.
Well, and I tell you, you can ask any goaltender, whether it be box or field, the toughest shot to stop, and it's a bounce shot. Why? Because once it hits that turf or that ground, boy, you don't know where it's going to go.
Short, long, spin, no spin. That shot scores, and bounce shot, there it is. Man, do I feel halfway talked about that, Lance. My goodness.
You'd swear we might know a little something about the game, Spencer, but don't tell anyone, okay?
Team Canada goal, scrubber number 7, Brooklyn Walker-Welch.
And that's Brooklyn Walker-Welch with that one, so that's 2 for Canada. The Haudenosaunee still looking to get themselves on the board. So that one right into that slot area. They have to kind of move it out, though, to the top of the aligned circle, what would be in box, as Canada and the Haudenosaunee fight just basically in front of the net. Ball comes loose. Neither can still get a hold of it. Shot clock goes, so the Haudenosaunee lose possession anyway. And that's kind of the problem with those balls are loose, Lance, is because possession stays with the team who lost the ball, you have to get it almost immediately or you're losing all that shot clock.
That's one of the nuances of this modified game and one of the adjustments that the players certainly have to make. You don't have the same amount of time playing this game as you do a regular field game.
As Canada play it back, a late change there for Canada, so kind of a trailer like in basketball coming for the late break. That shot goes whistling wide. That was double sevens there. Matsuoka.
Good shot, just couldn't get it on target.
And the Haudenosaunee moving it around again. I don't think they'll get it over the back there as they got to kind of move it around. Haudenosaunee only got about half the shot clock remaining. As we slowly turn a little bit duskier here in Canada, here in Oshawa at the Civic Field. About a minute 40 left here, only 5 seconds left in the shot clock. That one whistled wide. And again, another thing I want to mention here, the goalie, Lauren Spence, running quickly to that ball, knowing how important it is to get back in transition, get that ball back in play. Try to get the defense moving before they're set.
I think you're exactly right, Spencer, with that. And again, the more talented your goalie is, the better you can execute that, whether it be with a good outlet pass to the sidelines or getting that ball right up the middle of the field, creating a scoring opportunity.
Canada now again around the top. That was Wallace all the way around for Walker Welch. Pardon me. That shot right as the shot clock goes, so possession will go to the Haudenosaunee, and they'll cheer from their bench because, again, forcing a shot clock violation is still a positive. It's still a stop. And honestly, it's a more impressive stop if you make the offense not be able to get a shot on target in the 30 seconds. Not even a shot off in that case.
No, it shows your defense is playing very well, and the rotation is excellent.
And they're keeping the shots far away from the front of the net, which is exactly what you want. You want shots from far out so the goalie has a chance to kind of see it. As Haudenosaunee, again, that ball hits the deck. 5 seconds. They got to shoot it. Can they get possession back? No, they are not. So possession will go to Canada, I think, regardless, and it will. So the Haudenosaunee have struggled getting that ball into the middle. They're right in front of the net. As Canada should have the last possession of the quarter.
Well, I think they're trying to make too many passes with not enough space between the passers. That's making it a little difficult. So it's kind of like they're passing inside a closet.
Inside a phone booth. As that ball thrown into the middle, kind of nobody home, but Canada now fighting for it there in the slot. That ball scooted up, but nobody there, and Canada's able to retrieve it with 8 seconds left in the shot clock, but they do have a onlookers. That ball will go well wide, but that will be the quarter. So 2 minutes now in between the first and second between Canada and the Haudenosaunee. And Lance, as a astute lacrosse mind, what would you say the Haudenosaunee need to do in this second quarter to be able to finally get themselves on the board?
Well, I think what they have to do offensively is certainly spread the field just a bit. They seem to be a little congested inside that prime scoring area. I think what they have to do is spread it a little bit, allow some of their offensive players to create a shot or create an opportunity to pass it off to give another player a better opportunity or a better angle to shoot from. I just think they're a little stagnant, a little too close and compact on offense. Need to spread that out a bit, make Canada's defense work.
And what do you think for Canada on the other side? They've already got 2 goals. What do you think would make them a little more potent on the offensive end, or what have you liked from their defensive end? I'll let you go either side.
Well, offensively, I'd like to see them attack with a little more time on the shot clock. Good job on their part, getting the defense moving, but now you're looking under 5 before you're creating your opportunity to get a scoring chance. I'd like to see them do that. Defensively, they have to continue to do what they're doing, collapse in that middle, close off that prime shooting area, and keep Haudenosaunee off balance with their good woman-to-woman defense.
For sure. We're clicking to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the third quarter between Canada and the Haudenosaunee here on WSBN.
You know it in your core. Introducing the Helios Core, a breakthrough in skating development. With smart technology and artificial intelligence, the Helios Core analyzes key aspects of your skating, then shares the data in a mobile app. So players and coaches can see a player's progress, what still needs work, and where they stand against other players their age. The Helios Core gives players the information they need to improve their skating faster than ever before.
Welcome back here. WSBN, Women's World Lacrosse Super Sixes here in Oshawa at the Civic Field. Spencer Byers alongside Lance Wynn. Cajun Fever with Danny Castle running the camera. Canada up 2-0 here on the Haudenosaunee.
Raging Cajun.
Raging Cajun beside us.
Well, let me just ask you, Spencer, I'm just out of curiosity because, again, I'm from way back in the day. My school was the old school. When's the last time you seen a phone booth?
When's the last time I've seen a phone? Actually, there's a lot where I'm from, so actually, I say...
I'm just checking because I haven't seen one of those in a minute. I don't know if
As Canada score, they interrupt you there, Lance. As Erica Evans says, no, Lance, we want to keep this lacrosse.
I was going to start talking about typewriters and black and white TVs, but forget that now, okay? Back to lacrosse.
But I will mention, because ironically, you'll be going there for Thanksgiving dinner as we are on Thanksgiving weekend. Back in Wyerton, I still believe there is a phone booth out front of the post office.
I'm going to go look.
I believe there still is one.
I think you may have been hallucinating just a tad.
I swear it was there,
Lance.
Lance.
Smoke and mirrors, but okay. All right, we'll check. All right. I'll get back to you on that.
Get back to me? Okay, well, you'll be back on Sunday for the medal games after Thanksgiving on Saturday, so you can definitely give us a little update there on the phone booth.
I will give you an update on the phone booth situation. Okay.
As a Haudenosaunee, I think it an illegal screen, so, or yes, illegal pick, technically. I guess depends on the wording you like to use, but Canada anyway gets possession, and quickly down the field they'll come. And now you got to wonder what the Americans are thinking right now, because they know they got to play both these teams.
Well, I think they came in knowing that they were going to have their hands full with either one of these two teams, and that, of course, Kenya was going to be kind of a lopsided affair, or potentially anyway. So this is where they're at, and I think the three top teams, three of the top 6 teams in the world on display here this weekend. So looking forward to the rest of this one tomorrow and Sunday.
And then, of course, Kenya, as we mentioned, playing the U.S. Earlier today, they get the chance to play against the three top teams and kind of see where they stand, right? See where you kind of fit into the picture against three of, if not the three best competition you can find here in the Super Sixes division.
Well, Kenya's goal is to try to get better every game. That's what they need to focus on. Just improve, do one more thing right each and every time you're out on the pitch.
Well, Canada quickly up the field because of a shot clock violation where the Haudenosaunee got caught flat-footed, which you can't do in the Super 6 format. You can't get caught flat-footed for a second because the transition game comes so fast. It kind of fits my style because I speak really fast anyway, so when I start firing out, it kind of fits my quick vocabulary. As Canada trying to get back into the middle, ball loose, goes basically into the restricted area. Canada fish it out, but they're going to call it, and the Haudenosaunee will get possession now.
Canada's up the tempo here in the second quarter. They have managed to dominate the time of possession.
And the Haudenosaunee have really struggled to get anything on target. They've had a couple shot clock violations in that first quarter. Haudenosaunee now around. That shot low and saved by Lauren Spence, that's a great save.
Tough one there, coming around, curling around on that right side. Boy, oh boy, as a netminder, you got to be ready.
Trying to get around. That down low doesn't get there. And now the Haudenosaunee again got to back up, which takes away from that shot clock, but at least they don't have to back up too far, and they break it back in.
That was a great defensive hold for Haudenosaunee. Good job defending the screen and roll.
That shot, it goes just wide of Spence's head. That might have had a chance, Lance, but it just went outside of the post.
Well, wrong stick hand side, and when you watch these women out there, they are some of the best in the world. You can see them switch hands from left to right. Why do you do that? You do that for your angles. Easier for you to find different parts of the net if your stick is pointing towards the center. That puts you on your stick side. So without the ability to switch hands, you get caught on the wrong side. Your angles are limited as far as hitting the net goes.
Referee showing his arm there with that absolute laser. Looking like George Springer in right field as the Haudenosaunee now back with possession. Fresh shot clock, and there's a minor going against Canada, so 30 seconds of a chance here for the Haudenosaunee to get themselves on the board. This is a big advantage. What a save, Lauren Spence. Lance almost jumped out of his shoes there with that one. How Spence caught that, I don't know.
My, oh my, that was an outstanding piece of goaltending right there.
Really, all you have is as a goalie is the stick, and that's what she used, and she got all of it in the way.
I like when you said that. You have nothing as a goalie. You got your stick. That's all you have.
There's no padding. There's barely a helmet. Unlike the men's game where they used to have a little bit of padding. As that one saved there by Grandal.
It is a little. It is only a little.
Only a little, yeah, exactly. As a Canada now behind the net, they're just trying to chew that 30 seconds, trying to get possession back. The Haudenosaunee surprisingly aren't pressuring them, as I think they're about to get their fifth player back on the field here. Now they do, so now it's back to 5-on-5, but they only have about 10 seconds left in the shot clock here. That shot scores! I think that's Megan Kinna with the goal, and that's 4 for Canada.
See, that's the difference between Canada running the offense. They spread the field well in that whole offensive area and giving the offensive player enough chance to create some space.
That shot, I'm not sure if Spence got a stick to it. Doesn't look like she did, or the Haudenosaunee get possession, but I mean, the Haudenosaunee are getting about as close as you can get, Lance, without scoring a goal, and that's when you start wondering, like, how do we get a ball in? How do we not only beat this goalie, but, get that, just finally get that, I'll say, scrappy goal into the net?
Well, just a suggestion from my vantage point is you got to take shots from your stick side. And that was another shot, wrong stick side, couldn't find the net. That makes a big difference. Because what you want to do is at least make the goalie make the save.
And that's a miscommunication there, Lance, from the Haudenosaunee. Gives free back possession here for Canada. You got to wonder again if they just need a timeout or just quickly to the half to get kind of reset, refocused, right?
Well, you don't have those breaks that you normally have. You don't have that little extra few seconds to rest here or a little bit longer on the bench. You just don't have that in this game, so the players have to make adjustments too.
Canada, that shot bounced wide, and Crandall will go quickly for the ball. And look at Canada pressuring that outlet pass almost immediately, so the Haudenosaunee quickly got to throw it up, and that ball is airmailed, and I'm not sure if that's the right strategy here for the Haudenosaunee.
Well, I think Sierra Coggerville, I think she is, because she's got some length as far as height-wise goes, I think they took a chance there and tried to put something a little high and
get it
make
right in
her
that
go
slot
get
area.
it kind of thing, and just trying to generate something new. So you certainly can't fault them for that.
Canada, that shot saved there by Crandall, as she'll now retrieve it. Canada's press is almost suffocating, but the Haudenosaunee quickly up the field. Haudenosaunee shot off the post! They just can't buy one in this one yet, but the Haudenosaunee still got possession. Fresh shot clock.
Wrong stick side.
That one passed back.
Got to increase your percentage.
That ball kind of whacked out of the stick quickly after it's Lauren Spence. Now she's getting harassed behind the net. She's got to get away, and she just does.
Great to have a netminder that has that kind of ability and confidence to handle the ball. She is the sixth player out there.
So that ball is played around there by the Canadians, up 4-0. Minute left here in this quarter. About 8 seconds left in the half. What a shot. That one sounded like a rocket, and it got saved there by Crandall. And she'll kind of take a little walk there out of her crease to fling that ball up. About 2 more possessions you'd expect left in this one. We'll see if that rings true here with the Haudenosaunee still looking for their first marker of the night. It took Kenya to the third quarter to get their first. We'll see if the Haudenosaunee can at least get one here in the second before it ends.
Well, I'd like to think Haudenosaunee deficit a little different than Kenya's was.
Just a little bit.
Haudenosaunee still in this game for sure.
Haudenosaunee, though, just can't get that shot away, taken away by Canada, and they have a 2 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Quickly up the floor, that shot, what a save there by Crandall. We've seen some stupendous goaltending in this second quarter, as Haudenosaunee quickly up the field. And do pardon me if I say floor, I'll say more used to box than I am field, so I will say floor on occasion as that ball gets thrown into the Canada bench. And I think a timeout was taken by Canada. Or no, by the Haudenosaunee it looks like. Or no, it was by Canada. My eyes do deceive me. It was the black shirt. So Canada will take a timeout, smart timeout, to get a stop clock and the fresh possession here to end this fourth quarter.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Canada comes back with 10.4 on the clock as far as executing here in the second quarter. You know, they would love to add to that 4-goal lead. I think it's going to be important for Haudenosaunee to hold them off the board here, stay in this game. Of course, late goals make a big difference, but it just goes to show you that goaltending really does play an important role in the game and can change the momentum one way or the other. A big save at one end could lead to a goal at the other end and vice versa. So goaltending pivotal here in sixes.
And it's been great for both sides, you know. Crandall's let into 4 goals, but you can't say she's played bad. As Canada quickly in, they got 5 seconds now to work. Across the top, make it 3. They lose possession. They're going to have to just fire. They can't get a hold of it. But a little bump there at the end of the half. So the clock does expire. We are now at zeros. So 5-minute halftime here between Canada and the Haudenosaunee. 4-0 in favor of Canada over the Haudenosaunee. And before we go, Lance, I have to ask you again about the Haudenosaunee offense. They still have not been able to generate any offense, but in fairness, they have been able to limit Canada. They only have 4 goals. This game is still very close, and in lacrosse, no lead is safe, especially in this type of dynamic, fast, quick format. The no lead is safe, so Canada cannot rest on their laurels if they expect to be able to come up with a win here.
No, I think they're going to come out pretty ramped up and ready to go come third quarter. I think that Haudenosaunee is doing some good things. They just, percentage-wise, their shot selection hasn't been the best. They haven't put a lot of those shots on net, which is vital. And I think if they just make a little bit of adjustment, maybe shots from their stick side for one, shots around the middle in that prime scoring area again. So shot selection big for Haudenosaunee, but they're only down 4 goals, Spencer. This is anybody's game.
It's still right there for both sides. I do want to quickly want to mention before we go, Lauren Spence, Canada goalkeeper, Paige Crandall, Haudenosaunee goalie, both have been stupendous. Obviously the score line, obviously lopsided a little bit to Canada, a little bit, not going to say a whole lot, but both goalies have played great. Both have made big saves to keep their teams I'll say in it, keep their teams still close, and I expect we're going to continue to see that. So we'll see if either offense can really get through those amazing goalies.
Well, the goaltending's been outstanding, like you've said. I think the difference between Canada and Haudenosaunee right now is the shot selection and the percentage. Canada's goals have come from in tight, and that very difficult for goalies to stop the closer it is.
And we'll be right back for the third quarter, the second half between Canada and the Haudenosaunee, 4-0 to the Black Shirts. But don't think the Haudenosaunee are out of this one yet. They'll be raring to go here in the second half. We'll be right back here for the World Lacrosse Women's Super Sixes Lacrosse here at Civic Field in Oshawa on the World Sports Broadcasting Network.
I really do believe that the lacrosse community has become stronger with trying to really chase that Olympic dream. You've seen so many different countries.
Introducing the Helios Core, a breakthrough in skating development. With smart technology and artificial intelligence, the Helios Core analyzes key aspects of your skating, then shares the data in a mobile app. So players and coaches can see a player's progress, what still needs work, and where they stand against other players their age. The Helios Core gives players the information they need to improve their skating faster than ever before.
We're going to go back. And welcome back here to Oshawa. Civic Field. Women's World Lacrosse Super Sixes between Canada and the Haudenosaunee. Before this one was Kenya and the States, which I believe ended 30-2 in favor of the United States. This one 4-0 currently in favor of the Black Shirts in Canada. But Lance, we talked about, I'll quickly mention our names again. Lance Wynn, Spencer Byers here. Cajun Theory Thaney Castle running the camera. This game is not over. Lacrosse is about runs, and if the Haudenosaunee can come out hot in this third quarter, it could get really interesting as this game gets down the stretch.
Well, they have an analogy they use in basketball where the beginning of the third quarter is the most pivotal time in the game, and you can use that same adage here that it's going to be important for Canada to come up fired up here in this third quarter. They certainly have the lead, but they want to add to that lead before Haudenosaunee is able to trim the lead. So Canada going to have to come out hard, fired up. Haudenosaunee going to have to do the same, and tough to see. It'd be interesting to see who gets the first goal of this third quarter.
And I think it's going to be the most important goal of the game, as you mentioned there, Lance. The third quarter, beginning of the third quarter is almost as important as the beginning of the game because it is a restart in all sports, just about. So we'll see if, and I see some Team Kenya players there below us as well. So obviously, again, they're still here representing, as well as watching their competition throughout this tournament. As that possession almost gave the Haudenosaunee a chance, but whistle goes, so they got to go back. And again, the clock is still running, so it's not an advantage when that whistle has to go and you got to go back. It's a Haudenosaunee now, running right across the top. Into the middle. Oh, that one just gets through. But that was a great chance there for the Haudenosaunee.
Great chance, but with 10 seconds still on the shot clock, you had some time to work that around and maybe get a better interior pass than trying to rush it and create that scoring chance maybe just a bit too quickly.
Canada now with possession here. Late Friday. It's Canada right around. Now that ball got whacked out of the bottom of the stick with a whistle will go. And it's going toward possession going towards the Haudenosaunee. And not sure exactly what the whistle was for, to be completely honest with you here.
I think he's calling a penalty. I think he's calling a slashing penalty on
and it's actually that's against the Haudenosaunee. So now possession to Canada with a 30-second power play. And again, it's a full 30 seconds. There is no goal and it's over. It's a full 30-second player advantage for Canada. So they could technically score more than once. Obviously, it'd be really hard because it's one shot clock, but with how quickly this game can go, I wouldn't doubt a team can score a couple on a power play.
Would agree.
Canada now right around the horseshoe. Right back up to the top. That one into the middle. Back shot scores! Nifty move there from Dana Dobby.
You talk creativity. That's not a backhand. That's a back scoop.
And taken away here for Canada. Still on the power play. Shot scores! And that's two quick ones.
Well, you called it, Spencer. You could theoretically you could score a couple times in that 30 seconds. Sure enough, Canada did that, and that's certainly the start to the third that Canada wanted.
And Erica Evans got the sixth. So 2 quick goals here to start the third, and the Haudenosaunee now really got to put the pedal to the metal, Lance. They really have no more time to kind of fight their way back, and there is their first goal of the game.
Stick side, good job of stepping in, getting a good shot off. And again, that shot was in the prime scoring territory.
And I'm going to wait to hear which one that was. I believe it was number 9, Lodi Gill, but I just want to make sure that I got the number right as Canada now playing around. And pardon me, it was at number 5, Avery Doran. As Canada now around, that shot bounced, and ooh, it just skips over. Again, those bounce shots we've talked about always are dangerous because you just don't know short bounce, long bounce, how it's going to spin. It's always just confusing. It's kind of the off-speed pitch of lacrosse. As the Haudenosaunee now. Into the middle. What a move. Wide open. Shot scores. And the Haudenosaunee now finally gotten some momentum here.
Well, shot selection's the key. Look where their last 2 goals have come from. They've come from a good area on that field, right in prime scoring territory. That one, of course, right-hand side and right on the crease. That's what you want. That's where you want all your shots to come from.
And that's Paisley Cook with the goal there for the Haudenosaunee. Canada, though, trying to get back through the middle. They're not able to. And look again, quick transition for the Haudenosaunee, fighting through some sticks and some bodies. I think a penalty coming to Canada anyway, so the Haudenosaunee have a chance to kind of settle this down.
Momentum swing in favor of the purple and gold.
Of the Laurier Golden Hawks, and as you mentioned, the Los Angeles Lakers before the broadcast. Some pretty iconic jerseys.
Well, we won't bring up your teams at all. But you're a good guy nonetheless, okay? Let's just say that.
And the whistle will go against the black shirt, so I believe that should be a penalty going against Canada. I haven't seen anyone sit yet in the lawn chair, and now they will, so it will be a 5-on-4 in favor of the purple shirts for 30 full seconds. Canada got 2 on their first power play. We'll see if the Haudenosaunee can match them.
I think even if they can get 1 here and trim that deficit in half, it'll be big for Haudenosaunee.
The Haudenosaunee now making a way in. That shot doesn't end up getting all the way through, but they're able to pick up the rebound, but that doesn't reset the shot clock. They have now 12 to work. Into the middle, and again, that was that kind of long pass right in front of the net, and that one also just is not able to connect.
Good job defensively by Canada to really collapse in the middle of the field there and close that off and limit the chances for Haudenosaunee.
And now Canada with possession. They're just going to chew the rest of this 30-second minor off and get themselves back to 5-on-5, which they were able to score earlier when the Haudenosaunee got on a power play in the first half. Around it will go. That shot saved there by Crandall. Ball still loose, though, and the whistle's going to go. And the referees are now going to converge here. I think they're going to say inside the crease is the call, so that would mean Haudenosaunee ball.
Yeah, I think that is the call.
I appreciate when the referees do a little bit of a conversation, just make sure everybody's right and everyone saw it the same way kind of thing. You get a better look at it. As the Haudenosaunee again fighting through some checks there. That was Doran, the first goal scorer. Ball loose. Canada just can't pick it up in the transition game, and this is going to go, and it's over back against the Haudenosaunee, which costly there, but sadly not much they could do about that one. That was kind of a forced error there by the Canadians there on defense.
Yeah, I think Canada just pushed them up to the middle of the field. Remember, the line is midfield.
And Haudenosaunee immediately steal it, though, right off that score! Doran with her second, and it's quickly through. We talked about runs, and that went from a 6-0 run to Canada to a 3-0 run for the Haudenosaunee just about.
Great job. She used her height and her length there to create an opening, and then just a good overhand when she got in close. And again, deficit cut in half now. Canada leading just by 3.
Canada now around the top. Into the middle they come. That shot caught by Crandall, and again showing off that nifty slick hands there in net. Now the Haudenosaunee with 2 minutes left here on the game clock, about 18 seconds left from the shot clock, which is again 30 seconds. That shot low, saved there by Spence. She's done really well stopping those low shots, which without the padding is probably the hardest save to make. As Canada now quickly around the other way. Oh, I thought she was going to shoot that there from a really odd angle. That was Isabella Gaspar kind of faking there, and they're going to call a... I'm not sure exactly what that was there, Lance, but now possession will go to the purple shirts.
I think they called an illegal screen on that, illegal, and that's what forced the turnover.
Doran now looking for a third goal to complete the hat trick here in Oshawa. But a minute 15 left in this third quarter. Canada thought about shooting it, but kind of lost her footing as she went. Or pardon me, that's the Haudenosaunee lost their footing as they went to shoot and just weren't able to get the shot away with full power.
And that was a great stick check as well. As the defense by Canada, they picked it up a notch.
Minute of play in this quarter, last minute.
Now it is the last minute of play. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Canada. Again, the shot clock makes everything feel so quick because you don't have a whole lot of time. You kind of catch your breath and you go, oh no, we have 15 seconds left, and another goal for the Canadians. And that's double ones. Erica Evans, who I believe has got at least 2, maybe 3 in this one.
I like the way Evans, she took charge. She knew she had a defender on her that she could beat one-on-one. Took it right by her, got a good shot off, and found the back of the net.
The Haudenosaunee now, again, rather spaced out here. They got to make their way closer to the net, but they only have 10 seconds to work. Thought she was going to make a break for it. She's not really able to. They're going to have to fire here with 5. Passed off the slip into the middle. What a pass! And a good save there by Spence, but the shot clock, I think, went as it was shot. But I think they're going to give Canada maybe a minor here. I think it's going to be. So that's unlucky there for the Canadians to take a penalty there with such no time there on the shot clock.
No time on the shot clock and just under 10 seconds left in the quarter.
And a timeout, obviously thinking about the Haudenosaunee. They will have all, obviously, the 9.9 seconds here to work. And then if they aren't able to score, they'll have basically 20 seconds left of the power play, but they have to do the face-off to start every quarter, so that also might not be good for them because I know the point of the face-off is if you have a good face-off taker, even if you score, you can basically get right back possession right back. In this format, you can't do that. Right when you score, you lose possession. It's kind of loser's ball.
That is certainly the case, but I think it'll be interesting to see Haudenosaunee, I imagine, with 9.9, plenty of time to set something up, make a couple of passes, and get a good shot off. I think they have to be mindful, though, to start creating their opportunity early. Don't wait until there's 5 seconds left to try and create that shot and maybe make a pass if you get into trouble. The whole idea is to get a set play, make it 2 early passes, and then know with between 5 and 3 seconds, that's when you want to take your shot.
And now the Haudenosaunee will quickly come back onto the field as well as the Canadians. Again, 5-on-4 in favor of the purple shirts with 10 seconds left. Clock is running. Make it 6 seconds left. Haudenosaunee shot. That one caught by Spence, and maybe you wanted him to waste a little more time there, Lance, as they had about 4 seconds left there on the clock.
I don't know. I said between 5 and 3, and they shot it at 4, Spencer. I can't be mad, if you know what I'm saying. I thought that was well executed in the last 9.9 seconds by Haudenosaunee. And Canada lucky to dodge a bullet there.
And again, that's Spence doing great work there in the net. She's only allowed 3 goals, all 3 in that third quarter. She has been stellar for Canada. I'm not going to just say it's her, but I would say Lauren Spence has been a massive component to why they're up 4 goals in this going into this fourth and final quarter.
Well, listen, she's the last line in defense, so she's certainly a factor. If she's not strong, if you're not strong in the back end, you're not going to be strong in the front end because you're not going to have possession of the ball.
And you're also going to be thinking about knowing if you lose the ball, you have to go back, right, and how to have that worry in the back of your mind.
Well, and in this modified game where you're playing offense and defense, you want to play some offense along with the defense. You don't just want to be spending your time playing defense. So I think important for your backstop to be the main key. She's your quarterback anyway. Your goaltender is able to see the whole field in front of her. So it's important that she's a quarterback, she's the communicator, and she's your mainstay. So play well, keep your team in it when they need to, and that's certainly what she's doing here with a 4-goal lead for Canada. And
we'll be right back with the fourth and potentially final quarter, I should say. There is overtime. We'll see if we end up getting there, but we'll see fourth and potentially final quarter between Canada, Haudenosaunee, 7-3 Canada, here on WSBN.
I really do believe that the lacrosse community has become stronger with trying to really chase that Olympic dream. You've seen so many different countries striving towards greatness. You're now seeing more and more players come from the collegiate level and the pro level and strive to play for their country. I think that's an incredible thing. And I think having the Olympics at stake really has made that come to life.
We started talking about Olympic inclusion, we all knew that we needed to get there. And, it's such a privilege for us to be playing the sport and to be involved in the sport right now at this stage where we are ready to be taking that next step.
And we are back here on WSBN. Fourth quarter, about to start, 8 full minutes. Well, 8 running time full minutes here. Canada's going to start with possession, as they are on the penalty kill. So that actually takes away the face-off for the Haudenosaunee, which I think is a massive disadvantage. So obviously that timeout, they really would have liked that goal at the end of the third quarter. As Canada now around the net, they're about to get their 5th player, and here they come as the trailer wide open. Thought about shooting it, not really able to gather. Now nice move, trying to get around 1, trying to get around 2, backhander, and that ball gets fired, and it's going all the way to the fence. It's going through the track.
So certainly some good zip on it, and I definitely have to take my hats off to Dana Doobie, who creative to say the least, as she's got that shot in her arsenal, and not too many players can execute that shot with velocity, and she can.
And that was again like an underhand kind of shot. Canada quick fast break in, and they get another. And that looks to be double sevens, Alex Matsuoka.
Big difference when you get shots from that prime scoring area right in front. The goalie at a real disadvantage. And Canada lights out in tight.
77, Alex Matsuoka. That's number 7.
As again, the Haudenosaunee tried that long stretch pass. It goes for naught. So Canada again back with possession here.
Well, that's the risk you take. It's a great pass if you can execute and it's caught at the other end. But if you don't, boy, you sure give the other team possession very quickly.
Canada, that shot saved there by Crandall. Canada back with possession. They have a full shot clock to work. And again, they don't really have to go for more goals. I expect they will, of course, but they don't really need the goals. They just kind of need to use the shot clock because they get another. And I believe that's double ones again, Erica Evans.
Evans is having herself an outstanding game, and I think Canada working within the flow of the offense, and I think that's what's important. And a nice goal there from Haudenosaunee.
I believe that would be double threes. Allison Trice with that goal to make it 9-4. And you mentioned there offhand shots. That one was an offhand shot. She brought it across her body and fired it, so she was able to capitalize, which, again, is something the Haudenosaunee have really tried to do in this game, is kind of do a lot of that cross-body shooting, which has not been paying dividends yet, but now in the fourth quarter it's starting to kind of go in for them.
Well, you know what? We also have to remember this is the first game of the tournament for each of these two teams. So a bit of a feeling out process as well, a comfort level. I think tomorrow we're going to see all four teams at their very best. They'll be settled in, ready to go. They'll be playing a couple times, so I think that tomorrow's going to be very, very interesting to see.
Yeah, starting off with Canada and Kenya at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so stay tuned for that here on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. Has passed across the top. Nice move there as Canada again trying to work their way in. They do. That shot, I don't think ends up getting all the way through. So possession will go to the Haudenosaunee, who have really got to work here to be able to get back in this one. As again, Canada not scared to press the Haudenosaunee in their own end as down, and they're going to call that against Canada. I heard some Canadian fans not too happy with that one there, Lance, but they kind of have to call that one within the hands.
Well, that's a tough call there. Not quite sure if it was more of a losing balance than it was a knockdown, but I think judgment call from the official. Official's right there, perfect position, and made the call. So awfully tough to argue.
And I think the Haudenosaunee took a timeout. Or actually, it could have been the Canadians get themselves set on defense.
Well, you've got 4:24 left here in this fourth quarter, and if you're Haudenosaunee, you're down 5. Going to be difficult for you to make up the deficit, but you do have time. So important here for them to treat this possession like it is the game's on the line. Need something here. Need to close that gap. Got to be within 2 or 3 with at least 3 minutes left.
And then you also got to think, how many more chances do you want to take on defense? Are you going to kind of step out a little bit extra, try to get that steal? Because if they're able to get a steal in transition and get a quick advantage, if it's 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 3-on-2, whatever, that's a mass advantage, right? So you got to wonder if on defense, the Haudenosaunee might try to come out a little bit farther, which obviously leaves you more susceptible to goals. But, when you're battling and trying to get back in the game, you're not really worried about if you lose by 5 or lose by 7.
Got to do something. Well, we'll see what they do here, but a big possession for Haudenosaunee right here.
30-second power play, 30-second shot clock. The Haudenosaunee now around the top, into the middle. Nice move. Just couldn't get the shot away, and that was, again, a primed opportunity for the Haudenosaunee. Just couldn't pull the trigger.
Well, had she spun the other way towards her strong side, she would have got a shot off. Instead, she rolled the wrong way, rolled right into the defender, wasn't able to get a shot off.
The Haudenosaunee take it back, but they're going to call that against Canada, which will mean, I believe, a 5-on-3 for a matter of seconds as the clock is stopped. So this is a massive advantage for the Haudenosaunee, Lance, to be able to get some chances.
You've got to take advantage of every opportunity you can get, in particular when you're playing a team like Canada.
And you still have the U.S. to go. As again, passed across the top. Lots of space now for the purple shirts to work around. Back to 5-on-4. As they got to move now. What a pass! That shot scores! And some great ball movement there as Lois Garlow makes it 4 goals.
Great passing. Beautiful tic-tac-toe play. And again, when you're getting the ball and you're taking shots from right on that crease area, your percentage of scoring very high.
Canada now trying to shoot the rest of that clock. They're trying to get back to 5-on-5. That shot gets blocked. Canada will keep possession, though, but they don't get a fresh shot clock, so I got to keep working. They're back to 5-on-5, trying to get the shot low. Can't. Ball still loose, and that will be the Haudenosaunee possession. Here they come. You said 3 to 4 goals with 3 minutes. They're almost there. Into the middle. The Haudenosaunee have a chance, and that one's just over, and that was another great chance for the Haudenosaunee. That pass is a little bit off, and again, as you mentioned, first game of the tournament, you got to expect those passes to be a little more crisp tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think if she had the opportunity to master the art of switching hands, it would have been an easier pass for her to make. But not the case. Canada with possession.
Canada kind of airmail that one in the back, but now they have a chance here with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Again, they're using the whole 30 seconds, which is smart. Almost lost possession. Ball still loose. Canada retrieve it, and that is that possession. But again, it still chews 30 seconds off the clock, which is exactly what you want as Canada. Give them less possessions.
Time on the side of Canada right now. You don't need any more goals to win this game. Got to play good defense and limit Haudenosaunee's opportunities.
As that whistle goes, and it's another illegal screen going against the Haudenosaunee, and as the whistle's going to wait here, there's 3 referees now. I'm not sure we started with 3, Lance. I saw one kind of walking towards the middle, as some referees are here going to converge inside the Canada end. Clock has stopped at 2:06.
Well, I think that's a compliment to the officials that you've only noticed 2 and not 3. I mean, officials, of course, we'd like to think that they are sort of seen and not heard. If they're really doing a really good job, then that is the case.
It's definitely a thankless job, Lance. Definitely a thankless job.
There aren't a whole lot of pats on the backs for the officials. They've got the hardest job out there. They get no breaks, right? No line changes for them.
That pass into the middle. Canada does retrieve it. That shot saved by Crandall. Ball still loose in the slot, and the Haudenosaunee are able to fish it away, but Canada are the first ones there, which means fresh shot clock.
Great hustle on that for that loose ball.
And that possession might honestly do it in this one, unless the Haudenosaunee. That one saved by Crandall. Again, Canada look at that one off the crossbar, and couple clutch receptions there off of shots by Canada to get fresh shot clocks.
Well, Canada jumping all over those offensive loose balls, and they're big. Again, they give you possession. Canada now can burn another 30 and inch a little closer to that final buzzer.
That ball lifted in the middle, nobody home, and the Haudenosaunee will go the other way. About 45 seconds to a minute shoot off there by the Canadians with the offensive pressure. The Haudenosaunee try to pass it into the middle, ball still loose. They might be able to retrieve it. They are not, and Canada now have possession with a minute just about left.
Last minute of play in the quarter, last minute.
And if you're Canada, no need to rush, no need to do anything. Work the shot clock down, play some defense, and wrap it up.
Canada quickly in. That shot scores, and Megan Kinna gets a 10th goal for Canada as they now double up on the Haudenosaunee 10-5.
That's a beauty. Switch hands on the way by and pump that one in the top corner.
Haudenosaunee with maybe their last possession of the game with 15 left in the shot clock, about 32 left in the game. Pass into the middle. It did get received there by a purple shirt, but not well. Pass back up to the top. They got to have to shoot it. 4. That shot goes wide, and with the clock now stopped with 18:04 left, that should do it here for Canada and the Haudenosaunee. As up the field comes Kinna, the most recent goal scorer. Canada, though, still looking maybe for a goal there as they kind of rush towards the net. They do stop up. Haudenosaunee still not scared to put a little pressure on Canada now. In that one saved by Crandall. And that will be the game. 10-5 final between Canada and the Haudenosaunee. Canada double up the purple shirts here, but let's not act like the Haudenosaunee didn't have chances in this one to not only come up with a win, but come up with a lot closer result. Just some passes weren't there, and a couple costly penalties and turnovers just slanted the result Canada's way.
Yeah, I don't think the score was indicative of how evenly matched these two teams are, Spencer. I think that we're going to see, like we're going to watch the Kenya story and watch them progress through this tournament, the same is going to be said for both these two teams. Haudenosaunee, some good things to build on. They're already a good team. I think they just need to work on the execution. Canada, as you can see, looking like a well-oiled machine, working the ball well, scoring in prime shooting spots on the floor. And I think it's important that they maintain their focus and know that, the U.S. is going to be a big task. But winning this tournament over the course of 3 days, not an easy thing.
And another thing to mention, Lance, before we go is it's another thing I'm going to bring up here just to end the broadcast here as we get ready for tomorrow with everybody playing 2 games is I'm not sure if it's easier to play the on paper worst team first or the on paper best team first. because I'm not sure if the U.S. playing Kenya, you kind of have to throw that result out of your mind, because now you're playing against Haudenosaunee in Canada, who you feel like is on kind of your level. You know, like, do you kind of throw that Kenya game out because, you know, they weren't really, I'll say, on their level? Or for Canada and Haudenosaunee playing a hard game first, kind of having to now play a hard game first and then kind of whistle their way through the rest of it, kind of being in that mindset immediately, instead of having to kind of ramp up?
Well, Spencer, if you were talking about those kind of matchups on day two, I would probably side with you, but I think that for the U.S., Kenya, of course, it's a building process for them. The U.S. come in, beat the team that they're supposed to, not worry about the final score, but winning a game you're supposed to win. That's not always easy to do.
Yeah,
so you came and you did that. Now it's time for you to let that one go and focus on the next one, which you can bet that they're doing as well, because they've got two opponents that are going to be awfully tough tomorrow.
Again, tomorrow, 10 a.m. start, Kenya versus Canada. Then 11:30, the Haudenosaunee take on the United States. Then at 3 p.m., a little break in the middle between the second game and the third game, the Haudenosaunee take on Kenya. And then to end the day at 4:30 in the afternoon, Canada take on the United States in what should be an absolute amazing game. So should Haudenosaunee in the U.S. And no offense to Kenya, but they should play a great game too against Canada at 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, they might be able to jump on a Canadian team that's got to play a game at 7:30, get home, go to bed, wake up at 7, 8 a.m. and come play a game. Right? So maybe they can catch Canada kind of lacking a little early, kind of sluggish in the beginning, and then who knows?
That's why they play the games. I think it's highly unlikely, but that's why they play the games, and I think that's going to be important for both teams. Experience comes into play because you know how to treat a win or a loss and move on to the next day.
And that'll be it here for us from Civic Field here in Oshawa. Women's World Lacrosse Super Sixes. We'll continue tomorrow at 10 a.m. sharp, as I said. Canada versus Kenya to start us off, as we have 4 games tomorrow. For Lance Wynn, I'm Spencer Byers, and Cajun Theory Danny Castle. I'm running the camera. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. sharp, here on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. See you tomorrow.
You know it in your core. Introducing the Helios Core, a breakthrough. You know it in your core. Introducing the Helios Core, a breakthrough in skating development. With smart technology and artificial intelligence, the Helios Core analyzes key aspects of your skating, then shares the data in a mobile app. So players and coaches can see a player's progress, what still needs work, and where they stand against other players their age. The Helios Core gives players the information they need to improve their skating faster than ever before.
I really do believe that the lacrosse community has become stronger with trying to really chase that Olympic dream. You've seen so many different countries striving towards greatness. You're now seeing more and more players come from the collegiate level and the pro level and strive to play for their country. I think that's an incredible thing. And I think having the Olympics at stake really has made that come to life.
We started talking about Olympic inclusion. We all knew that we needed to get there. And, you know, it's such a privilege for us to be playing the sport and to be involved in the sport right now at this stage where we are ready to be taking that next step.
I think the vision to return to the games has rebuilt community and a sense of pride and momentum, purpose that we haven't had in 20 plus years. So feel that fire and that possibility has been pretty cool. And it's why a lot of us have put so much time into doing our part and having a role in getting lacrosse back in the Olympics.
I think most people would agree that the Olympics are the pinnacle of sport. It is important for us to continue to grow, promote the sport, and actively pursue that.
Just to see where the sport is and see, wow, you know, like they're here from that country. I didn't even know they had a lacrosse program. You know, it opens your eyes to such beautiful things that our game has done, and it just shows me that there's so much more we can do.
And I think people think we're just aiming for the Olympics, but we're not. Our main ambition, our main vision is actually to grow lacrosse around the world. And the Olympic vision helps that at every stage. It helps it with growth. It helps it with the publicity.
both World Lacrosse and different associations, lacrosse associations, have been improving a lot, no matter if it got included or not. We're growing more members, more people know about lacrosse, more people picking up a stick and start playing, and people start to enjoy the sports a lot more as well.
It's brought us all together, no matter where you're from, no matter what team you play for, what country you represent. It brings us all together because we have that common goal of getting our game to that Olympic stage. And I think it's only been a positive. I think a lot of people, it's created positive change within the youth landscape, into the college ranks, and professionally. Just been a great transition and a lot of growth for our game.